A two-game road trip begins in Buffalo, New York, and that means a return of the former captain Steve Ott, now with the St. Louis Blues. And speaking of returns, the Blues are thrilled to have Patrick Berglund back after missing the last three. The Blues are in snowy Buffalo, New York. Tonight they kick off a two-game road trip against the Buffalo Sabres. We are live from First Niagara Center as the Blues and Sabres meet for the second time this year. Hi again, everyone. John Kelly upstairs. Darren Pang is down between the benches. The Blues could set a club record tonight. They have points in their last 12 games. That ties the record last set in 2000 and 2001. And Darren Pang, despite that great run, the Blues remain in second place, 2 points behind Nashville. It's really hard to believe.
It is incredible to believe that. And the kind of roles that certain teams have gone on during the course of the year and have not been able to make up ground is absolutely overwhelming in this parity-filled National Hockey League. When you look at the Central Division on January the 3rd, and Nashville with 53 points, and you look at it today where the Blues with 70 points. I mean, an incredible ride by these two teams. You're trying to distance yourself, certainly from a team like Chicago that's won 2 Stanley Cups in the last 3 years and has been obviously a team that has gone to the Western Conference Finals with such consistency. But it's been a fun ride for the St. Louis Blues, and they're playing some great hockey, some of the best that the NHL has seen.
Although, Darren, as you would agree, a couple of nights ago did not play their best game against Tampa Bay, got outshot badly, but got the tying goal late from Tarasenko and the game winner from Jaden Schwartz.
Well, that's why these guys are difference makers, and there's going to be some games where it's not going to go as planned. You're not going to be as on top of the game as you had been in maybe previous games, and that leads us to our BJC Healthcare difference makers. And why wouldn't we focus on Jaden Schwartz, Paul Stastny, and Vladimir Tarasenko? A game in which the Blues needed great goaltending from Brian Elliott, while they also got some superb play. Tarasenko trying to go through two Tampa Bay Lightning. A great read there defensively by Jaden Schwartz that creates yet another good scoring chance there on the St. Louis native Ben Bishop. And of course, when you talk about a guy like Jaden Schwartz and how persistent he is on the puck, he's just dangerous all over the ice. This is the game-tying goal with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Perfectly executed and an unbelievable shot, and then it's overtime. And Jaden Schwartz gets behind the Tampa Bay Lightning players, 2 of them, a couple of misreads, but a great offensive play, certainly by the forward Jaden Schwartz in beating goaltender Ben Bishop for the winner in overtime.
Well, of course, these two clubs consummated a huge trade last February. The Blues getting Ryan Miller and Steve Ott. Of course, Miller is now in Vancouver, and Chris Stewart is still with the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, and you look at Steve Ott, too. I mean, he played over 100 games with the Buffalo Sabres, and that seems like a short time, but Steve Ott's one of those guys that just endears himself to his teammates. So, as he told me before the game, it's never easy. You still have friends over there, but that's a page that's beyond in the book. And for, Chris Stewart, the anticipation is that their general manager, Tim Murray, will move Chris Stewart by the time the trade deadline comes around and get either draft picks or obviously a good prospect for this Buffalo Sabres organization.
It is the second and final regular season meeting this year between the Blues and Sabres, and the Blues have had their way against this Buffalo club. Over the last few years, the Blues have won 5 in a row against the Sabres, including a convincing 6-1 victory back in November at Scottrade. Jori Lehtera led the way that night with a hat trick. It's the Blues and Sabres next from Buffalo. St. Louis Blues hockey is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. In, up, fixed, out, Dobbs does it all. Get great offers on 2015 Chevy models. Find new roads at your Mid-America Chevrolet dealer. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And we are back at First Niagara Center in downtown Buffalo. It's the Blues and Sabres, and tonight's Dobbs starting goaltender, Jake Allen, his last start. A winner in Carolina, stopping 26 of 28. It's his first ever game against the Sabres. He'll go against the Swede, Jonas Enroth, who was in goal the other night when the Sabres snapped their 14-game losing streak. Blues Hockey is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And for the Blues, it is that fourth line of Gotch, Reeves, and Odd against the Sabres line of Tyler Ennis, Chris Stewart, and Zemgus Girgensons. Bouwmeester on defense with Pietrangelo. And the Blues clear the puck to center ice. Here's Reeves down the boards. Trying to shake by Mike Weber. And now the Sabres with it. Weber reverses it to an open side picked by Gunnarsson. And he gets away from his check. Girgensons. And now grabbed again by the Blues. Here's Steen in front. Ferocious shot. And that was blocked before it got in on goal. And then lobbed to center ice by number 63, Tyler Ennis.
And Chris Stewart, good hand-eye coordination, knocked that down the length of the ice there before getting on a change. Good first shift there for Stewart. He ran into his old teammate Alex Pietrangelo, then took a big hit from Ryan Reeves to the right of their goaltender, Jonas Enroth.
Stewart has played better of late, 4 goals in his last 5 games. Now it is Schwartz, the overtime hero the other day, his first ever overtime goal. He gets it back of the goal. Now Tyler Myers on for Brian Giunta. At center, broken up by the Blues, then recovered by Stastny.
Yeah, good defensive play there by Stastny. Saw that developing play through the neutral zone, and that's going to be a delayed offside, even though there's lots of room for Jackman to exit the defensive zone. Our Toyota keys to the game early on here in Buffalo. Exploit Buffalo's D-zone coverage. Boy, did Montreal do that in the third period of that last game, even though Buffalo ended up winning that game. But play on the toes, move the puck quickly. And don't get caught in a game. Because the Buffalo Sabres are in 30th place, there's a lot of unpredictable play from them system-wise. You might think that you have more time, but make sure you're on your toes and moving that puck quickly.
The Canadians, despite losing, had 92 shot attempts on the Buffalo goal.
That's a lot of shot attempts,
I would say.
And if you're into the Corsi stat, it was a -37 in the third period in puck possession shots when you talk about shots that get through.
Ooh. Now Stewart to center ice for Girgensons, the Latvian. He was checked. And now Berglund gets it back. He returns after a 3-game absence. And that's flipped wide of Enroth.
That's a pleasant surprise, too. When that first happened, you might have anticipated that it was going to be a long-term upper body injury for the big Swede, but he's back. Joakim Lidstrom is out. Ty Ratty stays in the lineup.
And the injured players, Laterra, Shattenkirk, and Porter, as we get another whistle here. And now Pietrangelo having words with former Blue Tyson Strachan.
Well, the Sabres at 15-33-3 on it. We're on a 14-game losing streak before winning in Montreal. They've beat Montreal twice this year. Montreal's an excellent hockey club.
Yes, they are.
But Brian Giunta, Josh Georges, former Montreal Canadiens. I'm sure a lot of pride certainly goes into the revenge factor in beating Montreal.
Now it is Steen to center ice. Chipped one into Backes, tough angle, and a shot, and a save by Enroth. And the Sabres get the rebound, and it's flown off the boards by Giunta and down the ice. Darren, we were talking to associate coach Brad Shaw before the game, and he said, hey, I was on a team that one year won 10 games in Ottawa, and when you win a game after a losing streak, you are high as you can be. He expects the Sabres to come out racing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it is a game of confidence and momentum, and that's why you can never underestimate your opponent. When we talk about parity, there's still some very good players on this Buffalo Sabres club.
Now Matt Moulson, number 26, signed as a free agent, on for Josh Georges, and the Sabres to center ice. Moulson in against Marcel Gotch and Reeves. And now it's back of the goal. Giunta centers a good stick there by Jake Allen to break it up.
Yeah, very good stick. Otherwise, that's right on the tape in the middle of the slot.
And then dumped in by Reeves as the Blues make changes on the fly.
Yeah, quick changes to begin this game for the road team.
Well, Andre Benoit, who played last year in Colorado, he gets it out, fired back in. And the youngster Ristolainen back. Now it comes in front. Tarasenko at the crossbar with a great chance. And that hit the iron and goes off the glass. Now Stastny back of the goal. Steals it from Ristolainen. Back on the line to former Sabre Chris Butler. And then Tarasenko. Nice pass down low to Gunnarsson. And he can't get a shot, but Tarasenko follows up. Deep slot Gunnarsson. And a drive up high and a save by Enroth with his glove.
Good save there by Enroth. As you mentioned, 32 saves in that 3-2 win at Montreal. But this all starts with a good rush with Jaden Schwartz down the left side. And then Tarasenko sprints to the right. And this is the following play. But before that, it was a good play there by Tarasenko. He knew that the game plan was to go D to D. So he went right over to Benoit to take away that outlet pass. It ends up that Schwartz picks off the puck and feeds Tarasenko right in the slot. He just misses high to the glove side on the smaller goaltender. Enroth is the smallest goaltender in the National Hockey League at 5'10".
And bless his heart, right, Darren Pang?
5'10's a lot bigger than this old 5'4.5" frame, that's for sure. He's a giant.
He's a Ben Bishop compared to you.
He's just, you know what? He's got a lot of spirit, that goaltender does. I know in talking to Jim Corsi, the longtime goalie coach here in Buffalo, that's now the St. Louis Blues goalie coach, he had a lot of time for Enroth and the way he competes.
There's a giveaway. Oshie gets it for the Blues in the scoreless game. And now for Backes. Stewart comes over there to break it up. Tripped up by Oshie.
Yep, no call there.
Maybe he stepped on his stick, but there was no penalty call. Brian Pacmara and Ghislain Hébert, the referees tonight. And flown to center ice by Ennis. And Bouwmeester up the middle for Steen. Tips it in. George is back to get it, the former Canadian. And now for Strachan. Broken up at center ice. And now it comes back to Bouwmeester. And Pietrangelo trying to get free for Berglund. Into the zone, a shot. That was blocked at the defense. It hit Strachan. And now Berglund again. Off the wall and a shot. Hit a leg again. Kept in by Pietrangelo.
Great read by Pietrangelo on the right side.
Pietrangelo played his junior hockey in St. Catharines, Ontario, about 40 miles north of Buffalo. And now the Sabres have it again. Mike Weber. For Cody Hodgson. Now Strachan on to Hodgson, the former Canuck. Down the wing, and a rather easy save there for Jake Allen. Well, BMO Harris Bank wants you to show your sign in support of the Blues. Tweet a picture of you and your sign to hashtag BMO Blues Sign Contest for a chance to win Blues prizes and have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Visit BMOHarris.com/Blues Sign Contest or visit a local branch near you. Blues control the face-off. Butler for Stastny.
What a pass there by Butler on his backhand, right on the tape.
And then tipped out of midair by Giunta. He comes in, a shot, and that was blocked by Butler. Butler was back on the lineup the last game after sitting for 7 straight. And played well against Tampa Bay in over 20 minutes of action. Tarasenko down the wall against Benoit. It comes free now for Stastny. To Schwartz. Tarasenko follows up. He got in too tight of an angle. Now Tarasenko hooks it free back of the goal. In front. Oh, Stastny is robbed by Enroth from point-blank range. What a setup. And now back to Jackman. His pass in front. Tarasenko, a backhander up high. And it's gloved by Enroth. And we get a whistle as the Stastny line is dangerous again. They picked up where they left off against Tampa Bay.
Well, here in the arena in Buffalo, a nice tribute there to Steve Ott, the former captain. In the meantime, he just watched this brilliant play from Tarasenko with one hand on his stick, loops it around Mitchell, makes a perfect pass right there to Stastny. One quick shot, and Enroth makes a terrific save with his right pad.
Yeah, brilliant save there. And it remains scoreless. Blues win the face-off. In front, Steiner shot blocked. And Bouwmeester can't hold it in. Giunta races in for the Sabres. Tight angle. And that was blocked as it hit a leg. Now Mitchell trying to pry it free. Sabres get it. Molson a drive. That was off a stick. And it goes out of play.
Well, again, all the players were watching the Jumbotron. John Kelly, and right to my left, as Steve Ott and stood up there and acknowledged the crowd, and he was a ferocious leader for this team in a short amount of time. And you know, obviously when that trade takes place, you never know what's going to happen. So for Doug Armstrong, certainly he doesn't re-sign Ryan Miller. He loses 2 parts in Stewart and Halak and a pick. but then he re-signs Ott to a reasonable 2-year deal, so he keeps one of those components.
And, of course, the Sabres also, as you said, got a first-rounder.
Yep.
In this year's draft. They have 3 first-rounders in the upcoming draft, and right now they would pick first overall. And a pass for Ott.
There's still a percentage-wise.
Yeah, you have to win the lottery, but you're right. They're in last place.
Yeah.
Here's a shot wide. They would have a 20% chance of winning the lottery if they finish in 30th spot.
And a little tribute to the fan base here in Buffalo as well. They continue to pack this place.
Now the Sabres get it deep. Brian Flynn, number 65, on the board. Schwartz for the Blues. And a pass at the line, kept in. Flynn in front, and that went behind Ennis. And then Butler cancels him, and the puck dragged to center ice by Tarasenko. He comes in, knocked down, and gets a shot away anyhow. It's covered by Enroth, and a whistle.
What a step up there by Weber. He does not give Tarasenko any time or space whatsoever. Tarasenko humming down the right side. After this turnover there, Flynn just barely keeps the puck in, but the Blues are able to go the other way. And Tarasenko ends up flying down the right side. He's waiting for Stassen to catch up to him, and Weber just holds his ground and maybe surprises Tarasenko a little bit. Good hit right there. Good, clean hit.
The 7th time this year Tarasenko has scored goals in at least 2 straight. At the big game tire the other night. Oshie gets it near the net. Now Backes centers it. Intended for Steen. And broken up by Delorier. And he fires it out. Now Bouwmeester back into the Sabre zone. And former Calder Trophy winner Myers to his partner Weber. And Weber to center ice for Drew Stafford. Bumped off the puck by Backes. Now Stafford into the zone. And Matt Ellis a shot. Tip wide. Ellis back to the goal. Chased by Pietrangelo. And a great job by Pietrangelo. And now Oshie with it for the Blues. Ahead to Steen with Backes. Here's Steen coming in. To Backes on the tip-in, but it was just out of his reach. And off the active inboards to center ice.
That was close to being too many men on the ice. Mitchell touched that puck before the player he replaced got off the ice.
Now Steen gets the puck to center ice. Too far for Ty Ratty. They're the Sabres. And that pass blocked. And it caroms right to Benoit. And then Jackman hooks it back of his own goal. For Cole and around to Yashkin. Gets to center ice. Ratty now for Berglund. Drops it off to Jackman. And makes a play around the boards for Yashkin again. On the cycle for Berglund. And stays on his skates. And then Ratty filters one down low to Yashkin. As the Blues get the cycle game going here. Now Yashkin trying to lose Benoit in the corner. Picked up by Berglund. Good pass back to Cole. Into Jackman. Tight angle. Ratty centers it. And no one is there. And then held in by Berglund. Here's Berglund out high. Lets it go. And that was wide. Now Jackman in. And his drive. And a save there by Ennis. And the puck back to the line to Ratty. Ratty for Cole. Thrown back of the goal. Yashkin. In a battle there and finally cleared away by the captain, Giunta. And that was a good shift by the Berglund line. And now Gunnarsson to Cole.
Now this is an example, too, when Buffalo's in their own zone, the defensive zone coverage, they really start chasing when that puck goes side to side, and the Blues are trying to exploit that. That was a very, very good shift by the Berglund, Yashkin, and Ratty line.
And at center ice, Tarasenko runs right over a Sabre player, lost the puck. And now Myers feeds it back of his own goal. And Myers gets it back from Josh Georges. Chased by Tarasenko. Now Georges to center for Stewart. And he comes in. And then forced to the wall. A long shot. Banned on. And Gunnarsson will tap one to center ice. Got their 4-2 for the Blues.
Pretty good pace in the early part of this game.
Yes, it has been.
Not a whole lot of neutral zone stuff going on.
Pass to midway point here. Reeves on the forecheck. He did not play in the first game between these clubs. Kept in by Bouwmeester. Now Gotch back of the goal. He goes to the line to Pietrangelo. And now Gotch again. Surveys the entire ice. Bouwmeester in front, tips it. Rebound, Ott, a shot. And a save by Enroth. As Ott nearly burned his old club.
Good patience shown them by Gotch, though, on his backhand in the corner, waited for the right play.
And tipped along by Hodgson, recovered by Alex Pietrangelo. And now Reeves heels it back to Bouwmeester. Give and go back to Reeves. He goes wide. Everybody covered. Reeves plays one to the corner. That was intended for Backus, but it's grabbed by the Sabres, and Delorier gets it out, the former Kings prospect.
Yeah, the one-time defenseman. I mean, throughout his career until he got to pro hockey in Manchester as part of the Kings, they turned him into a defenseman. I'm sorry, he was a defenseman turned to a forward and caught fire, and now he's continuing on as a forward. That's pretty impressive transition.
And he got a spearing major on Tarasenko. Now a loose puck to Sabres. Wide open! Oh, Delorier! And Allen robbed him twice! Speaking of the former LA King, oh, he was wide open in front.
Yeah, Delorier and Jackman having words. Keep your eye on that. 44 in the Sabres sweater. He's going to go for a change now, though. Boy, oh boy, that's a good scoring chance there by the Sabres.
And now it is Ian Cole back in the Blues goal. Long pass to center to Backus. And that was tipped away. The Blues are making changes. So are the Sabres. Here comes Jackman, but he loses his stick. And back into the Blues end. And returning Bouwmeester. Now into Yashkin. And he goes wide. Maintained possession against Ristolainen. And then Ratty back of the goal. Trying to get it free. Comes along to Stewart. And his play to the middle of the ice. And now to center ice for Tyler Ennis. And that goes deep. Yashkin back defensively. Yashkin had 5 hits the other night for the Blues in that win against Tampa Bay. He has played a very physical game.
Yeah, and it was a hard game to get licks on, too. It was hard to get that puck in the right areas to get a forecheck against a tough Tampa squad.
Now a 3-on-2 into Pietrangelo. Pass in front. And that hit a stick, and the Sabres head to center ice. And Stewart slides it in. And again, both clubs make changes on the fly. And Bouwmeester with plenty of time.
They want this game to go by quick so we can get some wings.
I guess so. And now the Sabres feed it back of the goal for Myers.
You did that a little bit last night, didn't you?
You got to have chicken wings in Buffalo.
You have to.
Now the Blues break it up at center. Here's Stastny to Tarasenko. In the clear. Walks in. And a pad save by Enroth. And the Sabres fly the other way with Flynn. Gets it back of the goal against Gunnarsson. And it's kicked free in front. Broken up by the Blues. And Schwartz with some room. Now in for Butler. And the one-time Sabre. Swings around the goal in front to Stastny. And Tarasenko swings and misses out of midair. And walked along by Hodgson into the Blues zone. And Matt Ellis, number 37. And broken up there by Backus. Outlet feed for Steen. Here we've gone at least, 6 minutes without a whistle here, maybe longer.
Yeah, really a terrific pace to it. Good scoring chance to beat both sides.
And now Delorier gets it.
Enroth wasn't overreacting at all. Stayed very patient on that Tarasenko snapshot, didn't he?
Yes, he did on that partial break. Here's Weber around. Chipped by Delorier, kept in by Oshie. Handled by Steen, and then played back to Jackman. And now the captain Backus for Steen.
Oh, he's
and he
right off
can't
the mark.
pull the trigger.
Right off the mark. It was on his right skate. It's in the wheelhouse. It's a heavy one-timer there.
Oshie back to the line. Now to Jackman. Long shot wide. And then tipped by Steen to the line. Held in by Cole. And now the Sabres on it. Weber up the boards. Jackman moved in, but it's knocked away from him. And Oshie off the bench is Steve Ott. And now he goes for a skate back in his own line. And the Blues through the neutral zone. Backhanded deep by Reeves. He gets in there deep. Sabres play it around. Now Molson is center to Mitchell for Gianta. On the backhand, puts it right through the goal mouth, but no one is there for Buffalo.
Yeah, the big lengthy defenseman Tyler Myers was jumping in on the right side.
Now tipped at center ice, recovered by Gotch, and deferred to Pietrangelo. And then Bouwmeester up the middle. That's broken up. And then Ryan Reeves in the right spot. He was dumped hard at center and knocked down by Girgensons. And play continues.
Very close to being an icing call there. Linesman could have given us a break. Could have got a commercial in.
Blues might be in Columbus by 10 o'clock tonight. That's where they're headed after this game. And now Patrick Berglund with plenty of ice here at center. For Ty Rattie. Rattie works in and a shot, and that was wide. And around now for Carl Gunnarsson.
Just too firm there for Rattie on the forehand to keep that in.
But it is kept in by Yashkin. And now the Sabres have it. Strachan, who hosted David Backes last night for a nice dinner. Flynn comes in for the Sabres. And that shot hit the leg of Gunnarsson. Play continues. And Rattie to center ice. Chipped along by Stastny. And Benoit in the corner. And now moved to center ice by Ellis. As this non-stop pace continues with 2:40 left in the period.
We'll be on the Rideau Canal right now.
In Ottawa.
5.5 kilometers one way and 5.5 the other way. Just keep her going.
Now Tarasenko in for Schwartz. Deep slot, Tarasenko, a shot and a stick save by Enroth. Comes around to Cole. Feeds one to the corner. Ristolainen gets it. And to center ice for Kaleta. And Allen goes for a skate. He'll tip it on for Cole. And now his partner Jackman comes over. Nice outlet feed. And it bounced by Tarasenko. Or he may have had a break. And now it's moved in by Delorier. Drops it off. Mitchell a shot. And it came in front and a penalty called here. I believe it's on Ian Cole. And we finally get a whistle. After non-stop action. Delorier with a couple of great chances earlier.
At Paris inside our Fox Sports Midwest live studio at Ballpark Village. Blues and Sabres still scoreless. 1:57 to go in the first period there in Buffalo. Coming up on the SAPA GM Country Intermission Report, we'll get Bernie Federko's take on the first 20, a look inside the numbers, and we'll take a trip around the rest of the league as well. But right now, it's back to John and Darren in Buffalo for the remainder of the first.
All right, Pat, that is Ian Cole in the box for a hooking. And the Sabres get the game's first power play. Their power play is ranked last at 11.3%. Blues come in shorthanded. And now Steen will chop it back to Pietrangelo.
John Kelly, the two teams just went 10 minutes and 14 seconds without a stoppage in play before that penalty to Ian Cole.
Amazing. Blues on the kill this year, 80.6%. That is 20th. Ennis comes in front, and a shot saved by Allen with his right pad on Girgensons. And now the Latvian sets it up. That played around for Ennis. Back for Myers. To the corner, Girgensons. Even though their power play is struggling all year, of late they're 5 for 16 on the power play of the Sabres. And that's swatted down the ice by Gotch.
Yeah, everything's always relative, and broken down into their last 6 games, 31%. Teams don't just look at the overall number. They break it into 5 and 10 game segments and see where a team's trending.
Now 50 seconds left in the first period. Sabres dump it in. Now Gunnarsson played back of the goal. And picked up by Jackman, and that goes over the head of Georges and in behind the Buffalo net. And a half minute left in this fast-paced first period. Shots are dead even at 6. That is drilled in by Benoit. And then Giunta in some traffic. Puck comes up, and Stafford wristed all the way back of the goal. And now Georges can't make a play. And then flipped up by Gunnarsson. That should just about do it. With 5 to go in the period. And a long bouncing shot by Stafford, handled by Allen. And a fast-paced first period comes to an end in Buffalo.
What a pace it was. Enroth made a couple of beautiful saves in that period. The best one being off Paul Stastny.
Meanwhile, the Sabres outshoot the Blues 7-6 in the opening period. As the Blues and Sabres hook up for the second time this season. No score after 1. are back in Buffalo at First Niagara Center in downtown Buffalo. After one period, no score between the Blues and Sabres. A first period that lasted less than 30 minutes, and Darren, we had 10 total face-offs in the period. The Blues won 9 of 10 in the opening frame.
Yeah, not many face-offs, but obviously dominated in that area of the ice. But I did have a chance to talk to Brad Shaw after the first period of play, and as he mentioned to us before, there's a little bit of unpredictable play between every single line for the Sabres, so there's a little of adjustments to make as well. But overall, that was a pretty darn good, entertaining period. A lot of flow to it, good transition, and I thought there was some good execution on both sides of the ice.
And Tarasenko may have been the most dangerous player from either club.
Well, no question about that, but Buffalo didn't back off right off the hop. He got hit by Weber. They know that Vladimir Tarasenko Schwartz can break this wide open. That one did nibble off the post. I didn't see that from my side, the opposite side of the ice. That was a terrific pass right over there, and typical of Vladimir Tarasenko, he always likes to see the play. On that particular replay, he was looking at the one behind the net when he dragged it past Torrey Mitchell. There's a couple of good hits there, and a good reads by the Buffalo Sabres, knowing they've got to take time and space away from him. That shot from the outside, Jonas Enroth made that look relatively easy, and I'm sure it wasn't.
3 seconds left in the power play. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And the puck is dropped, and the Blues win another face-off. And they are back at full strength. Sabres had 2 power play shots. Now Backes on for Cole. And ripped around the half pipe. Picked up by Myers. And ahead to Georges, slapped to center by Stewart, but recovered by the Blues. And twisted back in by Backes. And a quick change by St. Louis. And now Myers. To Georges. Check. Tarasenko 2-on-1. He comes in. Great pass across to Stastny. And it rolled on him, and then Myers slides into the Sabre net. And that's a break for the home team.
Blues did an excellent job of reading that neutral zone play by Buffalo. Chris Stewart tried to stretch it out at the far blue line, but there was a large gap between defenseman and winger, and now you have Tarasenko on a quick little pass. That one just explodes off of Stastny's stick. Tarasenko with his head up all the way. The defenseman actually goes down awkwardly, Tyler Myers. I don't think he planned on going down that early. Kind of a premature slide right there for Tyler Myers, but that just dribbled off the stick of Stastny.
And now they win the draw, and a shot by Tarasenko after another Stastny face-off win. Every center in the game tonight for the Blues is over 50% of the year in the circle. Every Sabre center is 50% or worse. That's why the Blues are dominating in the circle. And now the puck is kept in by Buffalo. Mitchell gets it. Torrey Mitchell in front to Molson, and that's blocked by Bouwmeester. And now played around for Tarasenko. To Schwartz. No play is there, so he jams it back of the goal. Comes around to Tarasenko for Stastny. Now Tarasenko again. And it goes to the line to Pietrangelo. And then hooked to the corner by Schwartz for Stastny. A little stop-and-start move there. And his pass was off a Sabres stick. And Molson gets it back for Buffalo.
Well, clearly the one defenseman on the Buffalo Sabres that's been the most physical, and the Blues forwards have to keep their head up with him, has been Mike Weber.
And now Berglund comes in for the Blues. Pass back for Butler. And Butler's shot on goal. No problem there for Enroth. And the puck on the near side, grabbed by Berglund. He's looked sharp tonight after missing 3. And now the big Swede goes for a skate. And Berglund to the corner for Ratty. And around to Yashkin. And he was hit there by Benoit. Butler holds it in, though, for the Blues. Ratty in front to Berglund, wide open, a shot! And Enroth got a piece, and it just missed the far post.
2 good passes, one by Butler, and then that one by Ratty, right on the tape.
And now the Sabres with it. Ristolainen jolted in the corner. Berglund gets it. Here, this line had some really good zone time and chances in that opening period.
Really impressed with Berglund going back to center ice. It's a lot more skating, less stops and straight lines, and he's been sharp in this game.
And there was a good forecheck by Reeves. Yashkin a shot. Now Reeves gets it again. Back on the line for Butler. And a drive and a glove save by Enroth, and no further play.
Well, we saw Berglund Stastny and Dmitry Yashkin form a really good line, especially down low. And now we're seeing Berglund in the middle of the ice. That's a good shot. Weber again, physical against Tarasenko. That was behind net. This was the first shift of the game. Tarasenko got caught looking at the puck. Weber steps up on him. Obviously, the Blues forwards know that he's going to be a physical force in this game. He's done a good job.
And the puck is dropped unfairly between Gotch and Matt Ellis. Ellis won the only faceoff for the Sabres in that opening period after the Blues won 9 of 10. Gotch wins another one. Back to Jackman. And that shot was blocked by Weber. And now played at center by Delorier. First player back is the veteran Jackman. And now Ott. Tipped along by Cole to center ice. And here's Kaleta. Cross corner dump in. And then Jackman up the boards. That is stopped at the line, but now the Blues break it up. And walked along by Gotch. And then Kaleta sends it back to center ice for the Sabres. Blues are changing. Here's Reeves, a pass in on the wing. Cole trying to get there. But the Sabres come up with it in Girgensons, who was voted into the All-Star game by all those Latvian votes. He had over 1.5 million votes.
That's quite a story, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
He's going to be a tremendous player in this league. Played well in the Olympics last year for Teddy Nolan.
Latvia is a country of 2 million people. I think everyone voted for Girgensons in the country.
Everybody. Kids, dogs, cats.
Right. Now Oshie pass. What a pass indeed for Pietrangelo. Looks to make a play. And across to Bouwmeester. He comes in. A shot tipped by Backes. And he got his own rebound and then is buried by Georges. And the Sabres have it again. And Zemgus Girgensons, who played for the Latvians in the Olympics. Coached by Teddy Nolan. That shot was wide off a Blues player. And now the Blues with it, Pietrangelo.
Came from 5 minutes away from upsetting the Canadians that eventually won gold.
Yeah, that would have been one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history had the Latvians pulled it off.
Krista Gletskis, the goaltender that now is in Tampa Bay's American Hockey League affiliate, he just stood on his head and spit out wooden nickels all game long. What an exhibition that was.
Here's Butler a pass. Stastny trying to get in there. Into open ice now for Tarasenko. And Tarasenko pulls up a shot, and he ripped that one high and wide. 5 minutes gone here in the second. Now Stastny into the corner. For Tarasenko, a drive. And that was blocked at the Sabres' defense.
It went off Mitchell's, just his skate at the last second. No way Enroth was going to be able to pick that up.
Shots are 6-0 for the Blues in this second period. Now back of the goal. Worked along by the Blues. Gunnarsson for Schwartz. And a bouncing puck. Taken by Tarasenko. And Gunnarsson comes in. Gunnarsson a shot. And that was blocked by Strachan. And then Strachan in the corner now for Stastny. And he filters it back to the goal again, where it's handled by Strachan, who was signed as a free agent. Sabres get in, and that's offside as Gionta was behind Gunnarsson. Well, the Mardi Gras party is here. At every Blues home game in February, come enjoy. You'll see local live bands performing pregame, intermission, and postgame. Enjoy beer from the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden. Eat Mardi Gras-themed food. The gates open 90 minutes before face-off, and the party is free to any Blues fan in attendance. Tickets start at just $29, and all-you-can-eat seats start at $39. Go to stlouisblues.com/Mardi Gras and buy your tickets today.
That's a phenomenal deal.
Love Mardi Gras. Yeah, why not party all month at Blues games? The way they've been going this year. Now Yashkin for Ratty.
We should join them in the concourse for a period.
Now in front, a shot by Yashkin. Well, if you can announce and do that at the same time, more power to you, my friend. And Hutchin chops it back to center ice. Here's Jackman. And then Yashkin gets free into Ratty. Ratty chipped it to himself, and a shot, and a save by Enroth as Ratty nearly had his first NHL goal. Still scoreless in Buffalo.
Well, in his fourth game this year, Ty Ratty is generating more and more scoring chances. In this game, he's had a couple. Good play by Yashkin off the strong side there, and you can see this is the game of Ratty. He gets down low, he's got good anticipation, puts the puck up ahead of him, and then not worried about getting hit after that. He's a real heady hockey player, an opportunistic hockey player, the former second-round draft pick of the Blues.
And having a very good year in the American League with 17 goals, 5th in the league.
He's not going to overwhelm you with speed. He doesn't look like he's that strong, but hockey sense is hockey sense, and he's got a ton of it.
And last year, 31 goals in his rookie year. And a shot by Pietrangelo wide. And Bouwmeester can't hold it in.
Oh, good second effort right in front of me there.
And then Oshie had it knocked away off his stick by Tyler Ennis. And the puck bounces at the line. And a race here for Backes. He comes in, partial break. And a glove save and a dandy by Enroth.
Wow!
On Backes.
That little guy's got some quick mitts, doesn't he? It's like he was saying, go there, come to pop it to the glove side, and David Backes waited for as long as he could. And this is a brilliant save. And you can see that puck just jumps off Josh George's stick right there, just above it, and there goes David Backes. He's looking to his left and then peeking to the glove side. Right-hand shots, boy, do they ever love going high to the glove side there. And Jonas Enroth showing great reads, a great hockey sense, knowing that's where he was heading.
And now it's Schwartz back of the goal. On with Stastny and Tarasenko. Tarasenko at the line. Nice move around Mitchell. Now darts behind the goal. Puck in front. Schwartz for Gunnarsson. And then played back to Butler. Off the wing, it's Tarasenko. He gets free. Wide open in front of Schwartz. And chopped off a Sabres stick and out of play.
Well, Vladdy Tarasenko came out of the All-Star break maybe a little sluggish in his return. It's a tiring weekend, going to the All-Star weekend for the very first time, and naturally you're going to have maybe a little bit of a drop-off there, but boy, has he been humming. Look at this stutter steps that he's got right here. This is the explosion. You know that Vladdy Tarasenko's on when he's got that first step, and he darts in and out of holes like he's darting in and out of holes in this game. He has been the best forward in the game, without a doubt.
And the Blues win another face-off. Ott banks it back to the goal for Reeves. And now the Sabres get it. Hodgson out of the zone and moved in by Drew Stafford, who had a goal in their last game. And now Gotch back defensively. Rolls off a check, played ahead to Reeves. And it's center ice for Ott. Shots in this period, 9-0 for the Blues. But we're scoreless with 8 minutes gone here in the second. And then Pietrangelo with plenty of time. Bouwmeester, and then steered in by Ott. First the line in, plays one to his partner, Benoit. Then the Sabres to center ice. Hodgson, now for Stafford, to the net, and maybe one too many passes there, and the Blues get it back. And Schwartz flies to center now for Tarasenko. He pulls up, in for Gunnarsson. And that pass comes right in front, cleaned up there by the Sabres. And Mike Weber, a former second-rounder. And chopped in deep by Hodgson. Butler trying to get it away from Mitchell. It comes in front and a diving. Jake Allen covers before Molson can get there.
Smart play there by Jake Allen as we take a look at our dirt cheap snapshot of the game. I was walking down the hallway and you're wondering, what's Vladdy doing? He's half dressed, ready to go on the ice. He's talking on the phone with his father, Andre, in Sochi, Russia, and having a great conversation. And he ends up actually handing me the phone, and he says, hello to my dad. He says, say hello to my dad. So I talked to his dad a little bit, and I said to his dad, you're way too young looking to be his dad. He speaks very, very good English. And I'm not saying that that's the reason why Vladdy's jumping in this game, but boy, does he ever communicate well. You know, considering the time difference, John, with his grandfather and with his father, pretty special.
It is. Here's a drive by Cole right on goal. And a save by Enroth. And we enjoyed Andy Strickland's piece on Vladdy in the pregame show. And he was admitting that he talks to his dad or grandpa almost every night after the game. And of course, it's early in the morning in Russia after most games. Darren, it's amazing how many dads of the Blues players that are from Europe stay up and watch the games live.
Yeah, no, it is, isn't it? I mean, we'd do the same thing, though, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
No DVR for your son's games. You got to watch it live.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You change your life for it. And, you've gone through the ups and downs and the highs and the lows for all their careers, and a big part of it.
Well, February is American Health Month, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to recognize the American Heart Association's commitment to building healthier lives. Visit foxsportssupports.com for more information. The Sabres just had their first shot on goal.
It makes it even tougher for Jake Allen just to stay mentally involved.
With the line in a shot tip toward the goal. And now a shot by Delorier and a save by Allen.
This is where Marty Brodeur was so good when games like this while he was playing in New Jersey is he'd get involved, he'd play pucks, he'd stop them, he'd just get a feel for the puck.
Oh, giveaway there by Cole and a drive on goal by Delorier. And a save by Allen.
Delorier, the third man high in the offensive zone, picked that off. He was in a real good defensive position to get that scoring opportunity. You can see the defensive mindset of Delorier. As you see him up here, number 44, he comes right into your picture there on the back check and gets a shot. Even though it's from a far distance there, it's still a good scoring opportunity for Nicolas Delorier. Played in Gatineau and Rouyn-Noranda as well in the Quebec Hockey League.
And I apologize. I said it was Cole with the giveaway. It was Jackman who tried to go up the middle with that pass. And Stastny wins the faceoff. Now Butler back to get it. Former fourth rounder of the Sabres, and a drive up high and a save there by Allen with his blocker. And now it's Torrey Mitchell. On the wing for Gionta. In front. Gunnarsson tips it not out. Weber keeps it in. Now the deep slot. Mitchell can't get a shot. Then Butler up the boards. Nice pass for Tarasenko, but he's run to the ditch.
Again by Weber.
Mike Weber.
But that was a real smart pass. You're right, off the boards by Butler.
And now Gionta into the blue zone. Tough angle. And that shot goes wide. And then played around for Stastny. And he tries to work it out of there. Three Sabres in the corner. And now it's Schwartz to get it back for the Blues. 2-on-2 with Tarasenko. Dropped off to Tarasenko. And knocked off his stick. Then he runs right over Brian Flynn. And it's shot back of the Buffalo goal with 9:10 to go in the second period. And now Myers. To center ice. Gotch try to drop it back. The Sabres intercept, and Stafford will flip it back of the goal. And now Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. And the Blues through center ice. Here's Gotch, a little bouncing shot. Rebound comes in front. Ryan Reeves has it, and he can't pull the trigger, and then he goes to the line, but Pietrangelo had moved to the middle of the ice.
There's a small explosion that came off the stick of the goaltender, Enroth. That was just one bad rebound right there that caused all that havoc for the Buffalo Sabres.
Now Stafford onto center ice. Girgensons comes in, and his shot blocked by Jackman, and the rebound off the back of the goal. And now taken care of by Cole. For Backes. Too far for Reeves. And then lob back in by Georges. And Cole, nice pass ahead for Backes. And the Blues. That's center ice. Oshie beats two men.
He just bounced off that hit by Stewart.
Now a pass back for Jackman. And he comes in and a shot, and it never got through the maze of players in front. And Myers for the Sabres. And that trickles to center ice. Here's Cole. Nice pass on the wing to Backes. In for Oshie. Back to Backes. Tried to go to Steen. That was intercepted. And now Jackman races in. Gets some help back of the goal from Oshie. And now Pride free by Steen. In front. Away Backes open. Intercepted by Ennis. And a break here for Stewart. The former Blue. And a great save by Allen on Stewart. And the Blues to center ice. And Steen in. And he delays, and a shot blocked. And the Sabres get it again. Long stretch pass now for Matt Ellis. Tipped to the corner by Allen. Now Ellis back to the goal. And a collision back there. Coletta. It comes to Delorier. Back on the line to Strachan. Strachan gets it back from Weber. And a shot in the glove. Saved by Allen. On the one-time blue, Tyson Strachan. What a save by Allen on that Stewart breakaway.
And for Chris Stewart, we've seen it so many times as a member of the St. Louis Blues. Just the speed that he has. A big man with soft hands, hard to come by. And certainly there were some moments of inconsistent play and the reason why that he ended up getting dealt. But he's a good power forward there. Forehand, backhand. Watch the way Stewart explodes right here. Corrals it as it's on end and gets a real good shot. Jake Allen got that left pad out there beautifully and then was ready for the rebound as well. Chris Stewart's always had good success against the Blues as a member of the Colorado Avalanche. 10 games played, 8 goals, 7 assists, and 15 points. John Kelly.
A two-time 28 goals scored in the NHL is Chris Stewart. And very nearly broke this scoreless tie. Allen's won 3 straight, his first ever appearance against the Buffalo Sabres.
Heck, he's 14-5-2 on the year. Tremendous record. He's going to battle Mike Hutchinson, I'm sure, for that all-rookie team voting. He's already been a member of that once. So a bit of a rarity.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe you can win it twice. And the Blues now to center. Tarasenko for Schwartz. And he comes in on Strachan. Blown around by Weber. But there's Tarasenko again. Trying to make a play through a player's legs. Molson gets it back to center ice for Buffalo. Now Stastny back for Butler. And then for Carl Gunnarsson. Sabres just clogging the neutral zone with 5 players up front.
Yep.
Now the Blues break the press, and here's Tarasenko. He comes in. Thought about shooting. And now Tarasenko fights off the checking of Weber. And a pass across. That was intended for Schwartz, but picked off by the Sabres. Then Flynn. Flynn gets it back, and a shot goes wide. Now Brian Flynn around the boards. Myers wide open. Steers it to the end wall for Stafford, who is run down by Pietrangelo. Sabres center it. Hodgson wide open. Now he gets a shot on goal and a save by Allen.
Well, originally, Allen was looking the other way as the play was developing behind the net, and it went the other way, so he was caught for a split second, but then he got himself in real good position on the shot, and he got on top of his crease, made a real good save.
No score, late second period.
I'm Pat Paris, back with you in our Fox Sports Midwest live studio at Ballpark Village. Blues and Sabres still scoreless. 5:37 to go in that second period. Coming up, Jack in the Box intermission report, breaking down the first 2 periods. Bernie will look at that goalie battle that's brewing, and we'll check in on the Ducks and the Preds. All that coming up at intermission. Guys?
By the way, Ryan Getzlaf, a late scratch in that game for the Anaheim Ducks. As the Blues working off a face-off. Patrick Berglund, a shot, comes in front. And then Yashkin was knocked down. But he gets back on his skates. Played back to the wall. Now Yashkin leaves it for Berglund. And a centering feet blocked, and the Sabres quickly onto center ice. Stewart chips it by Cole. In on goal, right pad, saved by Allen. What a set of hands there by Chris Stewart.
Quite a read there by the Buffalo Sabres. Patrick Berglund hesitated for just a split second, and as he was looking to the middle of the ice, and before he went to break, Stafford behind the net, trying to grind it out right there, and a quick little pass. There's the positioning by Allen. He just shuffles his way out to the top of the crease, gets himself in a good position. And another minor penalty to the Blues. That was right to the right of the goaltender, Jake Allen, as the Sabres had another scoring chance there.
And for the second time tonight, Cole goes for hooky. Sabres on the faceoff, get it back. And a shot from the right point was wide of the goal. And then fired down the ice by Pietrangelo. Benoit and George is back on the points here for the Sabres. Again, they have the last ranked power play in the league, but pretty good of late with 5 goals in their last 6 games. Now Benoit for Molson. He lets it go back of the goal now for Giunta, but taken by the Blues and rolled up the middle by Gotch. And Benoit, the first player back. He had a pretty good year last year in Colorado, did Benoit. And 7 goals and 21 points. Or assists, rather.
I thought he played very, very well. Especially the way Patrick Wall wanted his defenseman up on the ice. He's a good skater. Really makes a good first pass.
And was signed as a free agent by the Sabres. Now a minute to go in the power play. And this is Tyler Myers. On for Ennis. And he chips it around the half boards. Into the corner now for Jackman. Gets some help there from Stastny. Right in front, risky play, and the Blues got away with it. And walked onto center ice by Jackman.
Jackman did a very good job of just continuing to move on right there because big Chris Stewart was behind him. A little backside pressure there by number 80.
And now Ennis trying to enter the zone. Plays it on the wing for Stewart. That pass across, nearly picked off by Ott. And now Ott in some traffic, can't move it out. And then Ennis centers it. And that was blocked by Bouwmeester. And now the Blues to center ice and hammered down the ice by Ott. With 10 to go in Coles Minor. Late second period, scoreless in this one. Now Myers to center ice. That bounces back of the goal. Gunnarsson around the wall. Ian Cole is back. The Blues have killed it off. And Schwartz darts into the wing. In front, quick shot by Tarasenko, and a save again by the Swedish goaltender Enroth. Well, Sunday's Blackhawks game is sold out, and the only way you can now get to see the game is by buying a stretch run pack. Stretch run packs come in 7-game packs or full stretch packs, starting at $26 per game. Packs are limited, so buy yours today at 314-622-BLUE. Sabres were held shotless on that power play. And now it comes along for Stafford. And that comes to center ice. And now Stastny drops it back for Butler. Tipped at center ice, now recovered by the Blues. Tarasenko, he comes in and a shot, and Enroth got his glove over on that. Quick wrist shot. Tarasenko again. On the line, Pietrangelo, a high howitzer, hits the glass.
That didn't miss by much. There was a little bit of room high to the blocker side. Pietrangelo settles that down. A great pass from Tarasenko. And as we talked about in that last game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, Tarasenko continued to go high on goaltender Ben Bishop, and he came over in between one of the stoppages and said in that game that maybe it's 5-hole, and sure enough, he ends up scoring high glove on the goaltender Bishop to tie the game up. There he goes. It went off the very end of the glove on Enroth.
Now Steen on a face-off here. And the Sabres control it. Georges for Myers. And that bounces all the way down and results in an icing call against the Sabres.
And I'd like to say, too, and send our condolences. The Blues lost a dear fan of the hockey club, and young man Chris Kozumchuk is out of the hospital now, but you probably read the news about 2 Blues fans leaving the game and getting in there's an accident where a car actually hit Catherine Dubas, and she did pass away, so our condolences to their family.
Yeah, terrible story. It happened after the game against Tampa Bay. Just awful.
Yeah. And Chris is out of the hospital, as I mentioned, but boy, oh boy. Just a terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing. Our thoughts were with the family, obviously.
Yes, they are. Well, these Sabres, with only 15 wins on the year, 30th spot in the entire league, and they're hanging in here with the Blues. No score late in the second. And the faceoff won by Berglund. Here's Butler, a drive. That goes wide. Wraparound. They score! Yashkin gets it off the boards and jams it in. And the Blues take a 1-0 lead.
A very similar play off the faceoff that we saw Tarasenko score to tie the game against Tampa Bay. Although the first one doesn't go in for Yashkin, he's able to corral it. But watch the support by Ty Ratty. Reads it back to the point, shot wide, and with that long reach, a left-hand shot on the forehand, there's no way for Enroth to get back. It glances off his left skate and into the vacated part of the net. But a quick bang-bang play and a quick decision there by Dmitry Yashkin to make it a 1-0 game. No chance for the goaltender, Jonas Enroth there. A good face-off win.
Sorry, Darren. When Pietrangelo got off the ice this morning After the morning skate,
Yeah.
he was talking to the players about the active end boards, and there was a great example right there, and it worked in the Blues' favor.
Yeah, really, exactly. But, you know, those plays, people think they're just a face-off. But, you know, the responsibility of Ratty is to support the face-off. When he does get the puck at the top of the circles, then he plays it back to Chris Butler. And obviously, so good play all the way around. And Butler has no choice but to fire it a little off to the side. And you're right, a very active end boards. And you can see the goaltender's already moved one way, thinking it's going to bounce to the short side. And Yashkin picks it up to go to the far side.
Butler and Ratty get the assist, and for Ratty, his first NHL point. Brought to you by Plaza Tire Service, our scoring summary.
Sure, many more to come for Ty Ratty.
So the Blues break the scoreless tie. Yashkin had a big goal in Washington the other day. His first in 8.
Oh!
Look out here.
Oh!
Allen! Great save on the rebound on Gergensen. He was down.
He just two-pad stacked that
Yes,
one.
he did. What a save there on Gergensen. Now a long backhander. Blocked in front by Pietrangelo. And the Blues to center ice. How did Gergensen get that wide open in front?
That just rolled off of Bolmeister's stick, it looked like.
And now Delorier. That comes around the boards. Pushed in deep now by Ennis. Let the Blues take over, and Backus to center ice. Oshie can't knock it down. And Myers the other way with 35 to go in the period. And a good back check there by Oshie. Now chased by Flynn back of the goal. Up the wing for Steen. He's mauled there. Can't get it, and a shot wide of Allen. And it comes around to Flynn. Now Flynn again. He'll jab it back of the goal. Stafford comes up with it. And Stafford, number 21, against Oshie. Rebound attempt. Glove save by Allen. What a save there. Another shot in front. Another glove save by Allen. That one on Georges, and the Blues clear it to center ice, and that's going to do it.
Oh, great pressure by the Buffalo Sabres to tie this game up at the end of the second period. Only some heroics from that guy. Jake Allen with your classic two-pad stack on the misplay by Jay Bomeister going back to his partner, and then that glove save in tight. Both goaltenders have put on a great performance so far in this hockey game, and you can see this last play here. There's the glove save originally, but there's another one coming his way as well as he fights it off. Gunnarsson's in front of the net. There's a quick shot, and he hammers away with his glove hand there. Here's the play by Bomeister on the backhand, and there's the two-pad stack right there. Little old school Marty Brodeur. Well, why wouldn't he? Marty's his hero, and he makes a two-pad stacker, John.
That was on Gergensen, who leads the Sabres with 13 goals. The only goal tonight by Yashkin. Late in the second, Blues lead by 1 after 40 minutes. Yashkin has the only goal. We have played 2 here in Buffalo as the Blues and Sabres get together for the second time this year. John Kelly upstairs, Darren Pang down between the benches. Well, the Sabres had 9 shots on goal in that second period, Darren, but certainly a lot of high-quality chances against Jake Allen.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. I think they ran a couple of plays in the offensive zone for the Blues. So defensively, Buffalo did a better job of attacking, maybe catching the Blues a little off guard. But, I mean, one of them was off the tape, obviously, of Jay Bomeister, that he was just trying to play back to his partner. This one here, Chris Stewart at the commercial break was saying, did it almost sneak through his legs? And I said, no, he made a great save with his left pad. And so Jake Allen, with a limited amount of time in his own zone, made some great saves. That was the two-pad stack that we were talking about on that little giveaway there by the Bomeister-Pietrangelo grouping. But Jake Allen has had to be very, very sharp. A difficult game early on to keep your head into it. That's why you have to admire these goaltenders that stay with the game. John, I was the worst at that. I would have been wandering. My mind would have been wandering, and I would have given up a bad goal. But he has gotten mentally a lot stronger, and that's a key attribute to have.
The Blues are 19-1-2 and leading after 2. The Sabres are 1-24 when trailing after 40 minutes of play. Teams at full strength here to begin the third period. As the Sabres come in, Gergensen nudged off the puck by Stastny. And now Ennis trying to get free back of the Blues goal. In front. Great stick again by Allen. And the Blues to center ice with Schwartz. Along with Oshie. So a different look to begin this third period. Good hit there by Oshie. Knocking Georges down. And now the puck slides to the front. Georges recovers. And around for Ennis. Blues swarm him. Now back for Bouwmeester. Pass in front to Oshie. Trying to jam it in. And a save by Enroth, and the Sabres clear it away. And now Bouwmeester back in his own line. Here's Pietrangelo for Tarasenko.
Well, Tarasenko's been the best player on the ice. And so he switches over, goes with Backes and with Alexander Steen, as you mentioned. We'll see how long that stays.
Tarasenko's had 2 shots on goal, and 7 have missed the net. Now the Blues come in. Backes drops it off. Tarasenko gets free in front. Now Backes. Then he nudges that one wide of the goal. And the Sabres swinging around the boards for Gionta. And now to center ice. Tapped on to Mitchell. Mitchell drops it off to Molson. Wasn't ready for it. And now Gionta back of the line. Benoit the shot. And off the target. Kept in. Ristolainen to drive. That's off the blue and just wide. And now Butler around to Steen. Plays it ahead to Tarasenko. Now on to center ice for Backes. 1-on-1. And he comes in and a save by Enroth. The puck is loose there. But Backes knocked down. And the Sabres to center ice. Stafford was upended by Jackman. Ristolainen comes in for Buffalo. Into Hodgson. A quick shot and a save by Allen. And the Sabres on it again. It's Benoit. But that's tipped away by the Blues. Now the Sabres again. Here's Hodgson for Stafford. And broken up by Ratty, who, by the way, is celebrating his 22nd birthday tonight. And has an assist on the only goal with his first ever NHL point. Now Delorier drops it off. And Myers plays it across for Georges. And then Myers again. Off a blue stick and out of play.
David Backes came barreling down the right side, right in front of me between the benches. And he looked like he was going to the middle, then cut out to the outside, and Ristolainen had to push him to the outside, which is a good play by the defenseman. The defenseman certainly doesn't want to overcommit on the outside and have David Backes cut in and create a better scoring chance. But it was the rebound that gave everybody a whole bunch of trouble. That's the second time Backes has been on the short side trying to go high on the smaller goaltender.
And now the Blues at center ice. That is driven in by Reeves and handled by the big Finn Ristolainen. 8th overall pick in 2013. And now Butler, the first man back. He stops back of the goal against Delorier. Comes around for Ott. Good reverse hit there by Ott. And now for Gunnarsson. And the Sabres go on a line change. Easy exit here for Ott. Then he bounces one to the corner. Now Ott gets it. Pass in front. Hit a stick and goes to Delorier. And the Sabres through center ice. Jurgensen's to the backhand in front. And off Allen's pad wide.
They're trying to bank a few there on the short side. Allen's been sharp on those little plays.
And the Sabres get it back at center ice. Stewart at the line. Checked. And now Chris Stewart recovers. And then moved in by Ennis. But he was stripped of the puck. And then Schwartz, so he went back with it. Ennis stole it. He comes in front. Oh, Allen made a save. I think on Stewart. What a chance there. And now Ennis, who made that play. Down low, broken up by Bouwmeester. And the Blues get the puck out. But, Darren, there was another high-quality chance against Jake Allen.
Yeah, it sure was. And Chris Stewart real frustrated going to the bench. That was absolutely right in the wheelhouse. Stewart actually might have got away with a little bit of a hold on the far side with one hand on his stick on Schwartz to strip the puck, but then he got open, got a great pass from Tyler Ennis.
And now the Sabres reloading at their own line. Good back check there by Steen. And now the Sabres play it back to Georges. And Josh Georges for Mitchell.
The referees a lot of credit in this game. They're letting the boys play in this freewheeling hockey game.
And now the puck into the blue zone. Cole leaves it for Steen, who has not had a shot tonight. Didn't have a shot against Tampa Bay. Now Cole back to center ice. Here's Steen down his off wing. Look out! Georgia's trying to take him up high. Now Steen gets it in front of Berglund. And he went to shoot it and lost it. Then the Sabres put it off the window to center ice. And tapped in by Flynn.
Great conversation between Jaden Schwartz and his former teammate Chris Stewart.
Now in front of Ratty, wide open, a shot, and a save by Enroth on the birthday boy Ratty.
Oh, good chemistry there. Yashkin and Ratty played together a little bit in the American Hockey League, and you can see that they do enjoy playing with one another. But there's a backhand pass. That was obviously at the far side there by the defenseman Butler, but here's the play on the near side, and you see the little hold there by Stewart. And Stewart yelled over to Schwartz here as they were both on each side of their bench at the very end, and he's going wrecking ball, and Schwartz says, "You held me. You held me."
Yes, he did, but got away with it. Stewart led the Blues in scoring back in the lockout shirt in the year of 12-13, had 18 goals and 36 points. Now Berglund wins a faceoff. Bouwmeester for Ratty.
Another good hustle by Ratty on that loose puck on the faceoff.
And now around to Yashkin. And that was broken up by the Sabres. Then it bounces to center ice. That pass tipped to the Sabres. And they go back up the middle. And Benoit's pass goes all the way down, icing call. Well, this month, the best drivers in the world will push themselves and their cars to the limits in the 57th running of the Great American Race. Be there as NASCAR drops the flag in another season and catch the legend's last ride as Jeff Gordon begins his final year behind the wheel. The Daytona 500 begins Sunday, February 22nd at 11 a.m. on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Blues win the faceoff. Schwartz. Back to a wide-open Gunnarsson. He'll play one to the near side now for Oshie. Trying to dangle by Benoit. And then Oshie just lays one back to the corner. Schwartz steps in there. Now Schwartz to the front. Drops it off for Oshie. Long wrist shot. Tipped wide by Stastny. And now Carl Gunnarsson off the boards. Gunnarsson tried to make a play to himself. Broken up and a penalty called. And I believe a hooking minor against the Sabres.
It's going to be on Delorier. Delorier's trying to get to that loose puck just in front of me, just near the Sabres bench, and he got one little tug in, it looked like. Just that one tug as he's there from behind. There's the hands right there, and the kind of corkscrew his hands a little bit, not very much right there. The referee at the far side. The referee was to the right of the goaltender, Jonas Enroth, in the defensive zone for the Buffalo Sabres. I was looking right at him, and he was the one that made the call.
And the Blues have the best road power play in the league at 27.2%. Second overall at 24.3, and they get their first power play tonight. And Mitchell wins the faceoff from Backus. And the Sabres clear it. Steen and Pietrangelo back on the points. Up front, Backus, Schwartz, and Tarasenko. Hard pass to Tarasenko. Ladles one to the corner for Backus. He sends it around, tipped back to Steen. Now for Pietrangelo. And his shot, tipped wide by Schwartz. And then Tarasenko on the half wall. Check back to Steen, now in the deep slot for Schwartz. And his shot, and Enroth saw that one through a Backus screen and has it.
Those are not easy saves to make right there. Going to your blocker side, between the side of your body and your right arm, your blocker side. And good puck movement there by Steen, going D to from the far point to Pietrangelo, and there's Backus trying to time that screen right there. He looks around him, and he just gets that in there. Just redirects slightly, slows down the pace of that shot.
And the Sabres off a face-off, chop it down the ice. The only goal tonight by Yashkin late in the second period. And the Blues on their first power play tonight. It is Oshie in on the wing for Pietrangelo. Weber gets a piece of him. Now Pietrangelo follows up along with Stastny. And then Yashkin supports the puck. He gets it free. Back for Oshie. Slides it across to Steen. Now Steen waits. Can't get a shot through. Then Strachan steps up. And he got it by Steen in a diving play. And Flynn, a short-handed breakaway. And two saves by Allen on Flynn and a short-handed breakaway. Then Steen the other way. He'll drop it off. In Pietrangelo to Yashkin. And his pass blocked and then ripped down the ice by Kaleta.
Great patience shown by Jake Allen on that play by Flynn. Flynn's looking 5-hole the whole way, and Jake Allen looked like he kind of gave it to him and took it away. Not once, but twice.
What a chance there for the former Maine Black Bear. Now it's back of the goal. Georges checked there by Tarasenko. Rolled back to the point, Cole. Now Cole gets it again. Plays it across. Tarasenko works in. A shot. And a save by Enroth. Side of the goal. Schwartz tried to jam it in. And now back of the goal. Delorier is back. So the Sabres have killed it off. And a heavy hit by Backes. And the Blues get it back. Off the wall. Schwartz. And he can't get it by Delorier.
Yeah, he was trying to reverse it and go back towards his right. Oh boy, Delorier just took down Tarasenko.
Now Butler comes in for Ott. Back to Butler. And he can't get a tip in. And now David Backes cruising back on the goal. Here's Backes for Butler. Butler's shot. Tipped well wide of the Sabre goal. And then Jackman on the line. And Weber comes over for Buffalo. And the Sabres get it out. But you're right, Darren. Tarasenko was rocked at center ice. Here's Ott. Cross ice feed for Gotch. In front to Reeves, and a quick one-timer. And he got jammed a bit on the pass and shot wide. Now Jackman across. To Gunnarsson, a shot. And off a stick and out of play. 11:03 to go in the second. Flynn had 2 chances on this shorthanded breakaway.
Time for a Bommarito Automotive Group sports update. Top 2 teams in the West squaring off in Nashville, but it's the Ducks spoiling the return of Nashville goalie Pekka Rinne. That's Sami Vatanen tipping in his 11th of the season. 2-0. Anaheim leads it now as they start the second period in Nashville. John and Darren, back to you.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. Well, with a win and a Nashville loss, the Blues get moving to a tie for first place. Off the face-off, Molson now for the Sabres. Luck out. And that pass was just out of the reach of Gionta, who was cherry-picking behind the Blues defense.
It sure was.
And now Bergen gets it out for the Blues. Tyler Myers almost lost it to Yashkin, who has scored the game's only goal. Now Myers again. From the red line, that goes off the glass into the netting, and we get a whistle.
Well, we saw Teddy Nolan pull this off a couple of times in the Olympics. A play similar to this where he kept 4 guys on the ice, kept a 5th guy on the bench. And you can see this isn't the case, but you can see clearly that Gionta's plan was to just get hopping. And once they had the puck in their own zone, he was gone like a flash. If not for a bouncing puck, he's in all alone.
Blues have won 70% of the faceoffs tonight, and Stastny wins another one. And now Butler to center ice for Oshie. It is Oshie, Schwartz, and Stastny here. The Blues have mixed the lines in this third period. Now Gunnarsson. That's tipped in there by Stastny. And Enroth up the boards on the glass. Stewart had it. Couldn't clear it. And now Schwartz in front of man. Fell down. He's wide open. A shot. Oh. And then somebody recovered Myers to tip it over the glass. What a chance for Schwartz.
Well, Myers ended up losing his balance trying to transition going over to his right, but he makes up for it with the long reach that he has. And you see that puck just hops over Stewart's stick. And then on that turnover, Myers blew a tire right there. And, you know, you look at a guy like Myers at 6'8", 220 pounds. It'd be easy at times to turn the wheel over a little bit too hard right there, and he did.
Off the face-off, Tarasenko a shot, and that goes whistling wide. And now Steen jams it back of the goal. Backes for Jackman. Played back of the goal again. Now in front, Tarasenko shot right on, a save. Rebound to Backes at the back of the goal. And now Backes finds Steen wide open. He looks in front to Tarasenko. He was covered. And now a Sabre player goes down. The puck comes to center. And shot back in by Jackman.
That was a heck of a pass by David Backes right on the tape there to Tarasenko in the high slot.
Pass the midway point here in the third period. And Mike Weber, their second round pick in 06, into the zone. Swatted away by Gotch. And now Ott plays it back.
And John, that's an area that the Blues can really exploit the Sabres in the Sabres zone, is in that high slot area.
And Roth back of the goal to play one for Benoit. And up the boards for Stafford. And that's tipped in there by Cody Hodgson. Former first rounder by the Canucks. Now the Blues. Ott to center ice for Reeves. Trying to make a play back.
Yeah, good back checking by Stafford there. Plenty of pressure.
Now on the wing it is Pietrangelo. He throws it deep. Flynn gets it. And it bounces by Reeves at the right point. Gabe Bouwmeester stepping up. Whips it back in there. Tip to the middle. And now the Sabres break it up, and it's off a stick and down the ice. Shots in this period, 6-5 for the Blues and 26-21 for the game. As Bouwmeester reverses now for Pietrangelo. Long pass for Yashkin. Off his stick, played by Myers. And then brushed along by Georges. And the Sabres through center. Here comes Ellis. Easy save there for Jake Allen. Ellis to the corner. And then Coletta squeezed by Gunnarsson. Ellis trying to move in front. He's denied by Berglund. Now a pass off the skates of Berglund. And the Blues have possession. And played now to the corner for Yashkin. And then moved to center ice. Ratty makes a smart play to get it deep. And he heads off on a line change. As the Sabres come to center ice. Then Mitchell. That bounces wide of the goal. Pushed along by Jackman. Out of the reach of Schwartz. And this will be an icing call against the Blues. Well, the biggest NHL Mardi Gras celebration is all month long at Scottrade. Come party with the Blues every home game this month. Local bands will perform before the game, through the game, and after the game. Special Mardi Gras themed menus, prize giveaways for sharing your fun, and it's free to all fans in attendance. Game tickets start at just $29 for the Mardi Gras celebration. Sabres at center ice. And that pass to Gionta, and that's an offside. 7:17 left in the third. The Blues leading 1-0.
Well, the legendary Hall of Famer Dominik Hasek had one of the great goaltending coaches as well in his career here in the Buffalo Sabres, and the Blues are happy to have him. Jim Corsi, here in Buffalo from 2001 to 2014, returns for the first time, and this morning on the ice, as he always does, communicating, talking, going through drills, talking to Brian Elliott, who, of course, is not playing in this game, but working with him afterwards. So I know he's really enjoying his time in St. Louis, as he did all those years here in Buffalo.
And such a likable guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does a great job for the Blues.
Yeah, Arturs Irbe has replaced him as the goaltending coach here.
Another Latvia. Under 7 to play in the third period. Blues trying to win their 7th in a row and extend their unbeaten streak to 13. As the Sabres get the puck near the line. Myers knocked down by Stastny. And the puck out the other way for Schwartz, who gets it back again and dumps it in. That is gloved down by Josh Georges. Blues are changing as Myers gets the puck to center ice. He gained the red line and snaps it in. Tip back of the goal for Gunnarsson around to Steen. And now for Tarasenko on to the captain Backes. Off the boards to himself. Makes a great play. And he can't get a shot.
What a play that was.
And Backes again.
He does that a lot, doesn't he?
Especially when there's active boards.
Absolutely.
And now Steen. Rink-wide feet for Tarasenko. He comes in, a shot. And tipped off a stick. It hit Weber's stick and goes out of play. And another break here in the third period.
Well, the majority of the shifts we've seen Mike Weber, number 6 for the Buffalo Sabres, on the ice with Vladdy Tarasenko. And head coach Ken Hitchcock has switched it up there, moving Tarasenko and Oshie, switching them on each other's lines. But You can see the contact that's happened early on in the game. Weber's played a real smart game. Stick on puck, taking the body, trying as much as possible to keep Tarasenko on the offside. That was the last scoring chance there. And he got his stick on that one, deflected up way high.
And the Blues control another face-off. Steen back of the goal is stripped there by Girgensons. And Ian Cole, a good pinch there to hold it in. Now back of the goal. Steen in front of Backes. Wide open, Tarasenko. He scores into the top corner. You could only hope to contain him so long, and he scores to make it 2-0.
That is exactly right. But this is a tremendous read by Ian Cole. Cole pushes up there and takes time and space away from big Chris Stewart. That keeps the play alive. If Cole backs off, this doesn't happen. So he pushes him and gets the puck up, and what a play in front of the net. The left-handed Tarasenko just bangs it home after big David Backes, who has set him up once in this period, does a good job on the forecheck. There's the play by Cole. Puck stays in. And here Georges gets pressure from Steen. Steen passed it back to Backes, right on the tape to Tarasenko, and that puck was rolling.
And now the Sabres come right in. The goal by Tarasenko. His third in as many games, 27th of the year at 14-22.
And Weber not on the ice for that shift.
And the Blues get some breathing room here with a second goal.
One of the few that he hasn't been on, and the Blues make him pay.
Pietrangelo a pass, tipped to center ice. Tarasenko is 27th from Backes and Steen at 14-22. Now Stafford to center ice. He lost it and hooked back to the line for Pietrangelo. Under 5 to play in regulation. And his pass to the Buffalo line. Berglund there involved with Ristolainen. And it slides free, and the Sabres get it out. And then Benoit tackles Yashkin in behind the play.
Now, it was a big hit originally. Started with Yashkin, and it just that Benoit fell on top of him at the very end. Kind of awkwardly.
And now the Sabres get the puck to the corner. Here's Mitchell. Pass in front to the wing, and a drive from the boards by Giunta. And a save by Allen.
Well, we talk about Tarasenko's got the most tying and go-ahead goals in the National Hockey League with 18. Ovechkin has 17 along with Stamkos. And here, this puck, he just waits on it and waits on it. It was fluttering just a little bit off the stick of David Backes, but Alexander Steen made a really good play behind the net to Backes, and in a one-touch fashion, Backes put it right on the tape to Tarasenko. That doesn't happen if it's a right-hand shot, so that switch there with Tarasenko and Oshie is a good one.
And now with 27 goals, he is tied for 4th in the league. Rick Nash leads the league with 32.
Nash scored another beauty last night against Tuukka Rask.
4 minutes left here. Schwartz picks it off near the line. Dangles around Stewart and knocked down by his former teammate. And then played back in the Buffalo goal. Myers off the glass. That comes to center. And Jackman waits for his mates to clear and sends it back in there. And all the way around the other way. Now picked up by Tarasenko. Broken up, but he gets it back. Tarasenko across. And a shot by Backes up high. And a save by Enroth.
Backes stubbornly keeps going to that glove side, and Enroth keeps making the save. And here's our Mazda drive to the net. And it's a good read there by Steen. Backhand pass to Backes, and then drive into the net is Tarasenko. And he makes the Sabres pay with that one.
And the Blues win another face-off. Intended for Tarasenko in the slot. And now picked up by Stafford. Sabres tip it away. Hodgson gets it back down the ice. And Brian Flynn comes in. He had the Sabres' best chance with a short-handed breakaway in this period. Now Pietrangelo around the boards. Flynn back on the line. Weber, shot blocked by Tarasenko. Now Weber again, a drive. Bounces around in front. Hodgson feeds Weber, shooting one, and that was blocked in front by Backes. And he's seen enough of this. And he throws it down the ice for an icing violation.
Well, you're exactly right about that save. A timeout is being called right now, but this is the key save. It's a 1-0 game. Flynn comes in here, And he somewhat telegraphs that shot there, and not only once, but then twice a good save. As you see, Flynn short-handed here. He's looking the whole way, takes it from the back end of the forehand, and give Jake Allen a lot of credit. He is very, very sharp on that puck. And we're spending a lot of time talking about goalies and goalie coaches and whatever, but Jake Allen's goalie coach in the offseason and longtime friend Dave Alexander is actually on hand here doing some scouting work, and so he's watching Jake Allen just on the side and observing.
And as you said, Hitchcock calls a timeout there with 2:52 left. They could leave Enroth on the bench here, down by 2. You never know. With the face-off in the blue zone, and now Enroth does go back in. As Steen will take the face-off against Mitchell. Missouri Lottery Blues Live is next here on Fox Sports Midwest. Mitchell wins the face-off for Georges. And a wrist shot. Allen saw that all the way and has it in the glove.
Oh, the right-handed shot. Torrey Mitchell, the former San Jose Shark, does a good job of battling, but Gionta, their captain, is the one that supports that face-off. And with that long shot from the point, it's an easy save for Jake Allen with his glove.
And now Stastny will take it against Mitchell. And Stastny wins this one for Bouwmeester. Jam back of the goal for Pietrangelo. And a loose puck picked up by Steen. Steen cuts in to the backhand, and he can't get a shot by Josh Georges. And now the Sabres at their own line. Molson to center for Mitchell. Trying to cut to the slot. Now for Gionta. And a rolling puck prevented him from getting a shot away. Now in front of Molson, a drive and a save by Allen. And then flipped out by Butler. And they go after it at center ice. Molson, he plays it back. That goes to the Blues and Ott. And he looks to make a play. Blocked by Myers, but kept in again by Ott.
Myers picks off Ott's pass, and Ott picks off Myers' pass. Side by each.
With 2 minutes left here. And now back for Reeves, a shot wide of the goal. Karams to Gunnarsson. And then down low for Ott. On his knees, gets it back to Jackman. And off the boards for Reeves. And then Stastny trying to get free from a check. Back to Jackman. Pushed along for Schwartz. Schwartz in front. Reeves wide open, or rather Oshie. And that shot was blocked. And the Sabres get it out. Sent deep by Girgensons. Now Enroth heads off. Empty net. Here's Schwartz across center. And a shot, and he scores! Jaden Schwartz, an empty net goal. And it's 3-0.
I don't think Schwartz knew originally that there was an empty net. And by the time he got it and looked up there, it caroms off the stick of the defenseman and into the open net. Jake Allen might get an assist on this one here to Stastny. Yes, he will. So Jake Allen gets a helper. Back-to-back assist for the Blues goaltenders, as Elliott had one in the game against Tampa Bay.
And that will put the icing on the cake. And Darren, the Blues are going to set a club record with points in 13 consecutive games.
That's quite an accomplishment.
12-0-1, a new club record.
That goes back to 1967. That's these players deserve a lot of credit. They've really, really bared down, haven't they? Stuck to a plan, stuck to their system. Really taken accountability and responsibility on the forecheck and the checking and the playing the great two-way game that they've played.
Well, FoxSportsMidwest.com is your home for the Blues all year. Log on for features, columns, game previews, recaps, and the latest updates. It's all on FoxSportsMidwest.com. And Berglund wins a faceoff. Back for Cole with a minute to go in the game. Now in front. Here's Tyrati. And a backhander on goal. And a save there by Enroth.
Enroth's been good in this game.
He's kept the Sabres close for the most part. There's now the Blues with a 3-0 lead. That is gloved down in the slot by Ellis. And now back to center ice. Stastny and Allen get the assist on that goal to put this one away. 30 seconds left. As Jake Allen's about to pick up his third shutout of the year. Now Benoit to center ice. That's blocked by Butler for Gunnarsson. Good pass off the boards now for Ott. He comes in. And Ott back to the line to Gunnarsson in the slot. And Reeves trying to make a play.
What a play by Big Strack.
And the game will end. Allen gets the shutout. And the Blues a club record with points in 13 straight.
I think Chris Butler's trying to get the puck there for the shutout. And Strachan's got it in his hand, and Strachan throws it over the glass and out of play. No shutout puck there for Jake Allen, but our Bud Light Players of the Game. We're going to share that game award here with the great play of Vladimir Tarasenko. Boy, did he excel in this hockey game. 1 goal, 5 shots, and Jake Allen with his third shutout of the year, John.
Yashkin, his third game winner of the year as the Blues win it 3-0.